Why do we attempt to summarize a human life in a single, simple sentence? Is it for clarity or convenience? For centuries, Xanthippe, the wife of Socrates, has been labeled a shrew. But is this label truth or a myth? Perhaps it is a convenient story we have created to simplify a complex reality. Let us look deeper today. To find the truth, we must move beyond labels and examine the environment in which Xanthippe actually lived. Welcome to Athens in the 5th century BC, a city of blossoming philosophy, yet also a place of extreme conflict. Following the Peloponnesian War, the city was shrouded in instability. Economic systems collapsed, and trust vanished. Citizens felt a constant threat to their survival. In such times, anxiety and anger naturally began to grow. In the midst of this turmoil, Socrates was seen not just as a thinker, but as a danger to social order. He pursued truth, not power or wealth. He spent his days in the streets, engaging in endless, provocative debates. This dedication eventually led him to a death sentence. But what about the family he left behind? While Socrates sought the ideal, his wife, Xanthippe, was left to carry the heavy, crushing burden of reality. She faced poverty, social ridicule, and the constant insecurity of her family's future, all on her own shoulders. This was not a simple domestic dispute. It was a structural conflict between survival and philosophical ideals. In such a desperate environment, intense emotions are not a flaw. They are a natural, inevitable human reaction. History is always reconstructed through the eyes of those who record it, influenced by the power of the time. Most records were written by male philosophers who viewed practical reality as a mere hindrance to thought. As a result, she was frozen as the woman who failed to understand philosophy, and the label shrew stuck. However, if we shift our perspective, a completely different picture emerges of a woman protecting her family. She was not an obstacle, but a realistic human being, fulfilling the most difficult and painful responsibilities. Consider the famous story where Xanthippe, in a fit of rage, poured water over Socrates' head. He calmly laughed, saying, "After thunder, the rain must fall." This story has long been used to mock her, but if we look closer at this scene, a completely different meaning is revealed beneath the surface. Her husband neglected their livelihood for philosophy, leaving the family in a socially precarious position. What she felt was not simple anger, but a profound fear for survival, as the consequences loomed. Modern psychology explains that continuous economic pressure in relationships leads to intense emotional outbursts. This was not a matter of character. It was the inevitable result of a crushing structural environment. Therefore, it is more accurate to interpret this event as the moment where reality and ideals collided. The core message is clear. When we evaluate a person, we must understand the context they faced. Defining her as a shrew is simple, but it ignores the era's anxiety, economic pressure, and human suffering. A great figure is not completed alone. It is formed through the sacrifices of those around them. History is a complex structure woven from the choices of countless individuals, not just one hero. Only when we understand this structure can we truly begin to approach the truth of human existence. Through this, we gain 3 insights. First, the ability to see the whole context rather than fragmented info. Second, we learn to understand conflicts in relationships as structural issues, not just personal flaws. And finally, we learn to respect the lives and pains of ordinary people hidden behind great figures. We respect great philosophers, but we often forget those who endured them. True wisdom starts here. Wisdom is not just about questions, but understanding the lives that fall apart because of those questions. Before you become a philosopher who laughs after being splashed, become a human who understands why. That understanding is far more difficult and far more noble. This is the true essence of humanities. For deeper insights, please subscribe and like. I am Dr. James Coe. May your soul grow rich through the humanities. I wish you all the best on your journey of wisdom. See you in the next video. Thank you. Here are the keywords and search terms related to today's topic for further exploration. Feel free to reach out via email for inquiries or collaboration. Thank you for watching. Now, let us delve deeper into the shadow of Athenian democracy that pressured Xanthippe's family. Athenian democracy was brilliant, yet it excluded many, especially women, from the sphere of decision-making. A woman in Athens had no legal or economic independence. She was entirely dependent on the men in her life. When Socrates refused to earn money, he wasn't just humble. He was essentially abandoning his family's survival. The shame of poverty was compounded by the mockery of a husband seen as a public eccentric. Xanthippe was isolated, fighting a war at home while the city was fighting a war at its borders. Is the pursuit of truth noble if it causes the starvation of one's own children? This is the paradox. Socrates had 3 sons. Their hunger was not a philosophical concept. It was a physical, painful reality. History celebrates his trial, but remains silent on the countless trials she faced every single day. We must reevaluate her not as a supporting character, but as a protagonist of her own survival story. Labels like aggressive or ignorant are weapons used to silence the legitimate cries of the oppressed. When we replace Shrew with protector, the entire narrative of the household changes forever. This story is not just about ancient Greece. It is about how we judge people in our lives today. How many Xanthippes are around us? People enduring chaos created by others while being unfairly labeled. True heroism is found in the quiet endurance of those who keep life going when everything else falls apart. Humanities teach us that no story is simple. Every person carries a world of context we must see. Empathy is the bridge that takes us from a convenient lie to a difficult yet beautiful truth. By restoring her dignity, we restore the dignity of all who have been forgotten by the pens of history. Let us be people who look at the rain and ask about the thunder that preceded it. That is where wisdom lies. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the heart of a misunderstood life. Carry this insight with you. If this touched you, please share it and subscribe to our channel for more philosophical explorations. Dr. James Coe is dedicated to bringing the light of humanities to our modern lives through his books. Connect with us to continue the conversation. Your feedback and inquiries are always welcome. Stay connected with these key topics. Explore more about the life of Socrates and Xanthippe online. Search these terms for more detailed information and diverse perspectives on today's theme. May your soul grow rich and your life be filled with understanding. Always stay curious and kind. Goodbye for now. We will see you again very soon with more insights. Thank you, and always stay blessed. This content was brought to you by Dr. James Coe. Subtitles by Video Agent. Final credits. Thank you once again. Your support keeps us going. Until next time, James Coe. Search for these terms to learn more. We appreciate your intellectual curiosity. Thank you. Share this video with these hashtags. Spread the wisdom of the humanities to the world. Finn. Thank you for your time. Stay blessed.